They said England doesn't produce midfielders like this anymore. But then, out of Birmingham came a boy who played like he'd lived 1,000 games before. Power, elegance, intelligence, leadership all wrapped inside an 18-year-old body. Jude Bellingham wasn't just talented, he was terrifying. Every touch spoke of control, every tackle of dominance. He didn't play football, he commanded it. From the moment he stepped onto the pitch for Real Madrid, the world felt something different, a new kind of energy. He wasn't intimidated by the white shirt or the roaring Bernabeu. Instead, he thrived in it. This is not a story about potential. This is about power, the power to lead, to conquer, to become the heartbeat of England and Madrid before turning 21. They call him a midfielder. But really, he's a storm in boots. This is the story of how England's quiet prodigy became Europe's most dangerous weapon, the monster England created. Before the Bernabeu lights, before the world headlines, there was Stourbridge, a small town near Birmingham. That's where it all began for a boy named Jude Victor William Bellingham. A kid raised not by fame, but by discipline and love for the game. His father, Mark Bellingham, was a local police officer and a goal machine in amateur football, scoring over 700 goals. From him, Jude learned two things: work ethic and fearlessness. His mother, Denise, kept him grounded, reminding him that talent means nothing without humility. At Birmingham City's academy, Jude stood out immediately, not because he was flashy, but because he thought differently. While others chased the ball, he read the game like a chess master, seeing 3 moves ahead. At just 16 years old, he made his senior debut for Birmingham City, becoming the youngest player in the club's history. He didn't just play, he controlled the midfield like a veteran. Every touch was calm, every decision calculated. Scouts from across Europe took notice, and soon the offers came flooding in. Manchester United wanted him. Chelsea wanted him. But Jude made a decision that shocked everyone. He rejected the glamour of the Premier League and chose Borussia Dortmund. Why? Because he didn't want fame, he wanted growth. At Dortmund, he entered a new world faster, stronger, more demanding. But Jude didn't blink. He faced seasoned European stars and made them look ordinary. Within months, he wasn't just another prospect. He was the engine of one of Europe's most exciting young teams. Dortmund didn't just shape his skills, they sharpened his mentality. Germany taught him control, composure, and what it means to lead. And soon, the boy from Birmingham was no longer a local wonder kid. He was a name echoing through Europe, a rising storm destined to strike. Because Jude Bellingham wasn't just growing, he was evolving. When Jude Bellingham arrived at Borussia Dortmund, he wasn't just another young signing. He was an experiment in greatness. A 17-year-old kid stepping into a dressing room filled with internationals, in a league where physicality breaks grown men. But Jude wasn't afraid. He was ready. From his first training session, he impressed the coaches with one thing: maturity. Not just in his play, but in his mind. He didn't act like a teenager. He acted like a captain. While others focused on flair, Jude focused on control. While others celebrated moments, Jude demanded consistency. It didn't take long for Dortmund fans to see this kid was different. He wasn't chasing highlights. He was building dominance. Every match, every minute, he played with energy that didn't fade, and intensity that didn't crack. He would press, tackle, pass, and lead all at once. And when he wore the captain's armband for the first time at just 19, it wasn't a gesture, it was recognition. He had become Dortmund's heart, their drive, their belief. But leadership came with a price. Jude carried the weight of expectation for club and country. And he delivered, again and again. Champions League nights, Bundesliga battles, he faced world-class opponents and never looked out of place. When Dortmund stumbled, he roared. When teammates dropped, he lifted them. He wasn't just learning from pressure, he was feeding on it. And that hunger caught the eyes of football's biggest giants. Real Madrid watched silently, knowing exactly what they were seeing: the birth of a generational leader. So, in the summer of 2023, the call came. The white shirt awaited. The same jersey worn by Zidane, Modric, Kroos, and now by a boy from Birmingham. It was more than a transfer. It was destiny. Because Jude Bellingham hadn't just survived in Germany, he had been forged in fire. A storm ready to shake the world's biggest stage. The day Jude Bellingham walked into Madrid, something shifted. Not just in the club, but in world football. He wasn't there to replace anyone. He was there to rewrite the standard. Inside the dressing room of legends, Modric, Kroos, Vinicius Bellingham didn't look nervous. He looked hungry. The cameras caught it. That calm stare, that quiet confidence. A 20-year-old walking into football's temple like he'd always belonged. And then he started playing. From the very first match, it wasn't football, it was electricity. Every touch had purpose. Every run had belief. Every goal pure statement. He didn't just score goals, he scored moments. Late winners, big stages. Each celebration with arms wide, eyes burning, chest pounding, it became a symbol. The world started calling it the Bellingham era. The Bernabeu roared his name like he'd been there for years. Even Spanish fans, hard to impress, said, "He plays like he's born for this club." But behind the glory, there was something deeper, something personal. Bellingham wasn't just proving his talent. He was proving his purpose. He wanted to show that English players could dominate not just in the Premier League, but on the biggest stage in Europe. And he did. Game after game, he destroyed defenses, controlled midfields, and silenced critics. He became Real Madrid's heartbeat, their spark in chaos, their calm in pressure. Reporters asked, how does he stay so confident? Every doubt, every insult, every about one thing, winning. Yet the higher he climbed, the more the world started to pull. Fans adored him. Rivals hated him. Every match turned into a war between love and jealousy. Then came the hardest part, the loneliness of greatness. When the lights go off and the crowd disappears, the hero stands alone. Behind the roar, there's exhaustion. Behind the celebration, there's sacrifice. Behind the smile, there's pain. Because to stay on top, you must fight every single day, not just against defenders, but against doubt. Jude started learning what Cristiano, Messi, and Ronaldo Nazario learned before him, that being great isn't about talent. It's about endurance. It's about surviving the weight of your own legend. Still, Bellingham refused to break. Instead, he turned that pressure into fuel. Every challenge became motivation. Every critic a reason to rise higher. He looked at the badge on his chest, Real Madrid, and whispered to himself, "This is where I was meant to be." And as the Bernabeu lights glowed one more time, he walked out calm, focused, unshaken. Because Jude Bellingham isn't just another star. He's the standard. The boy England doubted. The man Madrid now worships. The monster they created, now ruling world football. Under the blinding lights of the Santiago Bernabeu, one truth echoes louder than the cheers. Jude Bellingham is no longer a promise. He's a phenomenon. From the dusty pitches of Birmingham to the royal stage of Madrid, his journey isn't just about football, it's about belief. Belief in your voice when the world doubts you. Belief in your dream when others call it impossible. He was mocked for leaving England too early. They said he wasn't ready. But look at him now, leading the world's greatest club, carrying his nation's hopes, and redefining what it means to be young and fearless. Every goal he scores is a message. You can't stop destiny. Bellingham's story isn't ending, it's only beginning. He's not chasing legends anymore. He's becoming one. And when future generations speak of this era, they'll remember the boy who walked into Madrid and made the football world his stage. Because Jude Bellingham isn't just playing the game, he's changing it.